Viewer discretion is advised.
You are listening to Wine and Crime, the podcast where two friends chug wine, chat true crime, and unleash their worst Minnesotan accents. So fun. We've got a good one for you today.
Yeah. We got a fan picker topic for us today.
But first, before I forget, I'm Lucy.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Amanda. I was like, what? Do you have an announcement?
No, I don't have an announcement.
It's just my name. I know. God, I wish I had a fucking announcement. I have no announcement. It's just my name.
Nothing good anyway. No good announcements.
No. Although we did have an amazing tour.
Oh my God. I have not had that much fun in a grip.
Yep. And we're working on a couple more shows for the rest of the year and then lots of shows for 2027. So
oh yeah.
It was so fun. All the shows were so great and like packed. I was shook.
Our Portland show,
almost every show sold out. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah. They almost all sold out, and I just felt so good about all of them. I just had so much fun. The people were so great. The venues were amazing.
Yeah. So we want to come to a town near you. So let us know, where you're at so we can start planning some stuff. I'm thinking about throwing a bone to Wisconsin before the end of the year.
You mentioned that yesterday. I liked that idea.
Yeah. I've got a friend in Green Bay who thinks she might have a spot for us. So I'm gonna let the Wisconsinites speak here, but if you want to see us in Green Bay, let us know.
I gotta go to Spring Green too.
Oh, so cute.
Shit's weird in Spring Green.
Yeah, we're gonna be somewhere weird in October, but we're not ready to tell you yet. But Stay tuned for that. We have a Halloween plan.
Yes, we sure fucking
do.
I
guess the weekend before Halloween, if you really want to mark your calendars.
Spooky season. Mm-hmm. But yeah, if you're interested, pencil in some travel the week before Halloween. Anyway, details coming soon. But today we have a very special fan pick episode.
Yes.
This comes to us from Becky T.
Oh, Becky T.
Becky T has chosen the topic of Delaware Crimes.
Delaware, one of the most forgotten states.
The one I always forget.
The country. Yeah.
Yeah, she's tiny.
She's just itty bitty. Takes like 20 minutes to go through her.
Oh.
I mean, same.
We can't judge.
Relatable. 20 minutes max.
Oh, I have things to do. 20 minutes? Grow up. Grow up. Come in my belly button.
Like a gentleman.
Like a gentleman. Anyway, marriage is fantastic. Amanda,
we all love it.
Why don't you start us off with our wine crime pairing for Delaware Crimes?
Yes, sweet Becky T. I wish Becky T had chosen Twisted Tea because Twisted Tea is one of my favorite.
Your favorite.
Fucking garbage things. But she instead did not choose a garbage thing. She chose Dogfish Head craft cocktail. It's like a canned cocktail. It's their vodka crush, and it's a blood orange mango crush cocktail.
Bitch, that sounds so good.
It looks so fucking good. So that is our wine crime pairing. And at first I was like, why would we pick this? But when I read the About Us on the Dogfish Head website, it all became clear. So that reads, the story of Dogfish Head began in June of 1995 when we opened Dogfish Head Brewing and Eats, the state's first brew pub. Oh my God, I'm fine.
The state's first brew pub.
Oh, right, because it's the first state. The state's first brew pub. That's why I can't fucking read this.
Yep.
In Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
I think
Dreamed up by our co-founders, Sam and Mariah Calagione.
Why can I sort of read today and you cannot?
I can't, so I need you. The plan was to bring original beer, original food, and original music to the area, and we did just that. Not only was Dogfish Head Delaware's first brew pub, it was the smallest commercial brewery in America. With our very first batches brewed on a system that was essentially 3 little kegs with propane burners underneath, we were brewing 12-gallon batches of beer for a whole restaurant.
Whoa.
It proved to be more than a full-time job, and when the doors to the brew pub first opened, we brewed 3 times a day, 5 times a week. The benefit? Brewing on such a small system gave us the ability to try out a myriad of different recipes.
Small batch, baby.
So obviously over time they've moved they're very much in the beer making, the beer brewing business, but they also moved into these canned cocktails. So this one in particular, this Dogfish Head Vodka Crush, says it's 2 real fruit juices and 2 foolproof shots.
Whoa.
We took our love of this coastal cocktail style to new depths. We blend Dogfish Head vodka, so they're making their own vodka, with real fruit juice from blood oranges and mangoes for a citrusy, crushable cocktail. Offering innovative takes on classic recipes, Dogfish Head cocktails are expertly crafted using a duo of real fruit juices for a distinct flavor experience. And they are available in a lot of states. Like, I think you can ship, but also you should check and see if they have it at your local liquor store, because they have Dogfish Head at beer and stuff at Total Wine. So
okay,
check it out, and you too could crush a Dogfish Head crush.
Crush a crush.
Crush a crush, baby.
A friend of mine had a very, very smart brother. His whole family was really smart, but he worked at Dogfish Head at like their original locale, which might be this.
Cool.
Sounds like it's this.
I imagine it is.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. Well, congrats to them, and cheers to us. And that's what I got for our wine crime pairing. So let's take a quick break to hear a word from our sponsees, and then we will be back to dive into some Delaware shit. I've got some fucked up shit for you today.
I have some very interesting. I really liked my segment for today. So please do come back and hear what we have to tell you about Delaware.
Yeah, I can't wait to go over the flag.
We're going over the flag, baby.
I can't wait. We're all going through it. Why do more laundry? Especially bedding laundry, like the most annoying laundry to do. You got to rip apart your whole bed. You got to wash everything. It's just a lot. Okay. And wouldn't it be nice if you had sheets where you could do that just a little bit less, even if it's just like every other week instead of every week? And you really should be washing your traditional bed sheets every single week, because they can hold more bacteria than a toilet seat, which is Lucy's favorite fun fact. And it grosses me out every single minute of my life. So Miracle Made is what we're here to talk about, because their bedding is designed to fight bacteria and stay cleaner longer with silver-infused fabrics that actually prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth.
It's so gross. You do not want to be laying your face or your bod on sheets that are that dirty, because guess what? That can clog your pores, cause breakouts. So Miracle Made's antibacterial design helps you sleep literally cleaner and clearer night after night. They're so comfortable, and you would be shocked at the price of these sheets, because they feel just as good, if not better, than sheets you'd find at a 5-star hotel. And they don't have that wild markup. Mm-hmm. Miracle Made sheets are crafted with NASA-inspired silver-infused fabrics that help you regulate your body temperature. So whether you're a hot sleeper or a cold sleeper or both, it doesn't matter. These sheets help keep you in the comfort zone night after night. And like Amanda said, way less laundry, win-win, win-win.
So upgrade your sleep or give the gift of better rest. Go to trymiracle.com/gals to try Miracle Made sheets today. You'll save over 40%, and when you use promo code GALS, you'll get an extra 20% off, plus a free 3-piece towel set. They make an amazing gift, and with a 30-day money-back guarantee, there's no risk. That's trymiracle.com/gals, code GALS at checkout. And thanks to Miracle Made for sponsoring this episode.
This episode of Wine and Crime is brought to you by our friends at Wild Grain. Yum. Wild Grain delivers sourdough breads, seasonal pastries, and French butter right to your door.
What?
All made by small independent bakeries. I know, the butter girl. Mm-hmm. Everything bakes straight from frozen in 25 minutes or less, so you can enjoy freshly baked favorites whenever you want them. You got a craving for cookies? Dig them out of your freezer, pop them in your oven. You're going to have cookies like very, very quickly.
In 20 minutes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Unlike many grocery store options, Wild Grain uses simple, recognizable ingredients and a slow fermentation process, which is often easier to digest. Mm-hmm. You can also customize your box with classic, gluten-free, vegan, and protein options.
I am so obsessed with wild grain, and the easier to digest products, like I cannot tell you how much of a game changer that is. I'm on some diet restrictions given new diagnoses with all my stomach problems. And I was like, oh my God, am I going to have to give up bread? And then I was like, oh, guess what? This actually falls perfectly within the parameters of my dietary restrictions. Wild grain is just spectacular. I feel like it is better bread than what you're just picking up in a loaf at the grocery store. It feels so fresh. It just like feels intentional. And I really love all the different products that they offer. It's not just about the sourdough. Like the cookies are so good. I'm obsessed with their pastries. It makes you seem like someone who has your life together when somebody invites you over and you could be like, oh, give me 20 minutes and I'll bake croissants.
Fresh bread.
That's all I'm saying. So if you're looking for an easy way to enjoy bakery quality bread at home, I definitely recommend giving Wild Grain a try. Wild Grain has more than 40,000 five-star reviews, was named USA Today's best food subscription box 3 years in a row. Plus, they have award-winning croissants. Visit wildgrain.com/gals to get $30 off your first box plus free croissants for life. Again, that's wildgrain.com/gals for $30 off your first box and free croissants for life, or use promo code GALS at checkout. True crime stories can be intriguing and dark, as we know, but has your mind ever started generating disturbing thoughts that you don't want to engage with? Maybe thoughts that made you question everything about who you are, or gave you anxiety, or made you feel a lot of fear. And maybe it's like a disturbing image that pops up out of nowhere, or a violent urge that horrifies you, or a thought about harming someone or harming yourself. And even though these are all unwanted thoughts, these intrusive thoughts can feel so real and so disturbing and shameful. Like you don't really want to tell people that you're experiencing them. And you might start to wonder, like, what does this mean about me? What kind of person thinks these things? It can really easily spiral out of control. And the truth is, intrusive thoughts like these happen to almost everyone, but you got to be paying attention to it because for people with OCD, they don't just pass by, they stick. They cause intense distress, which can drive people to repetitive mental or physical actions in an attempt to feel safe or okay, or just like kind of make you feel really out of control of your life.
When you have OCD, you might spend hours analyzing what an unwanted thought could mean, desperately trying to prove to yourself that you're not a bad person. You're not a bad person. You might feel the urge to confess every little thing, seek reassurance from friends and family, or replay memories over and over to feel more certain that you didn't accidentally do something terrible. But no matter what you try, the distress always returns, often stronger than before. OCD is misunderstood and it can be debilitating. People often suffer for years, even decades, even lifetimes without realizing that they have it. But it's also highly treatable with the right kind of therapy, specialized therapy. Standard talk therapy won't cut it, but exposure and response prevention therapy, or ERP, is highly effective. And that is why we want to tell you about NoCD. They're the world's leading provider of OCD treatment. All their licensed therapists are trained in ERP, and they will never judge you for anything, for any frightening thought that you've had. Therapy with NoCD is 100% virtual. They offer between session support, so you are never alone. And they accept insurance for over 155 million Americans. So if any of this sounds familiar, visit nocd.com to book a free 15-minute call and see how they can help. That's nocd.com. Delaware is a teeny tiny state in the mid-Atlantic region of the United States. It borders Maryland to its south and west, Pennsylvania to its north, New Jersey to its northeast, and the beautiful Atlantic Ocean to its east, direct
Just
east.
gorgeous.
She is a mere 2,044 square miles, so 16 miles long and 30 miles at its widest. So you really can run through her in 20 minutes.
Yeah, she is tiny.
Delaware declared its independence from Great Britain on June 15th, 1776, before the United States.
Well, yeah, we're going to kind of talk about the War of 1812 briefly. So
Great
Delaware
War.
really pulled off early, but that doesn't mean that Great Britain was just like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it's like they declared it. I didn't say it. I declared it, said Delaware.
I declare independence.
Independence.
It thereby also became independent of Pennsylvania because Pennsylvania just kind of had it absorbed for a really long time. Well, since 1682. So, she really found herself in June of 1776.
Mm-hmm.
Delaware is the second smallest and sixth least populous state, but also the sixth most densely populated, because you gotta be crafty about fitting all those folks in only 2,000 square miles.
Mm-hmm.
Dover is the capital, but Wilmington is its most populated city, and the whole state only has 3 counties.
Wow.
So you have
it's like tinier than I knew it was tiny.
Yeah.
But it's like tinier than I even thought when you really lay it out. 16 by 33 miles.
Well, no, 96 and 39 at its widest.
Oh, okay. 96 by 39. I don't know why I heard 16. Whatever.
I mean, well, 39 at its widest. It probably is 16 miles wide at some parts.
Oh, God.
I don't have a great grasp of what the state is even shaped like, if I'm being honest with you.
Mm-hmm. It's shaped like a shredded... it's like a shredded scrap of lace because it's so covered in channels and water and coast.
We'll get to the channels and water.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. It's
just like a
fish.
shredded sack hanging. It's like I love it.
I mean,
listen, I've driven the Delwater Gap many times. She's gorgeous. Gorgeous.
So her mere 3 counties consist of Newcastle County, Kent County, and Sussex County. Newcastle is the most urban. I think the other 2 are very like agrarian farmland. And Newcastle is considered part of the Philadelphia metro area, very close to Philly.
Okay.
This was weird to me. The U.S. Census Bureau actually classifies Delaware as being part of the American South. Isn't that weird?
I don't think it's that weird, and I think that's because wasn't slavery allowed there?
Well, yeah. Do you mean part of the Union or part of the Confederacy?
Yeah.
I feel like it was the Virginias that were or the Carolinas.
That might have been the official, but this says slavery in Delaware lasted from 1639 until December of 1865, making it one of the last 2 states in the United States to legally abolish the institution. Maybe that's why it's considered part of the South.
There we go. Culturally South.
That's what I mean. It's like, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, listen, none of us
have clean hands.
None of us have fucking clean hands when it comes to America's greatest shame. Okay. Like the North likes to pat itself. We like to pat ourselves on the back for not being part of the Confederacy. But like we did our own fucked up shit. Okay.
Yeah. We genocided a lot. Just collectively. On December 7th, 1787, Delaware was the first state to ratify the Constitution of the United States, and that's why it had the nickname the First State. Okay. It wasn't actually the first state.
Well, yeah, because didn't they land on Plymouth Rock?
I don't know. What's a state, too? Who is a state and who is a colony? Yeah. Who is an outpost?
Right. And also, who fucking cares? Like,
good point.
Genuinely, who cares who was the first
white colonizer?
Yeah, for the first of the American rot.
Yeah.
Bye.
First at what?
Right.
So, a couple of other nicknames include the Diamond State, not because it has diamonds, but legend has it that Thomas Jefferson called Delaware a jewel among the states because of its strategic location along the East Coast.
Okay.
Okay, we just took that one and ran with it. It's also known as the Blue Hen State, also a really gross background. One form of entertainment during the Revolutionary War for Delaware soldiers was cockfighting.
Oh, no.
It was so popular that Delaware soldiers brought their own blue hens with them during their stay in the army. They'd bring a chicken from home to fight it.
Okay. BYOC.
BYO. Bring your own cock.
Yup.
The blue hen was noted for its fighting ability, and because of their bravery, the men of Captain Jonathan Caldwell's company was soon compared to this breed.
Okay.
They like the color blue, like a dusty blue.
Mm-hmm.
And their flag is dusty blue, which we will get to, but it's not because of the blue hen. It's because of George Washington's coat or some shit.
Okay.
The name Delaware comes from Delaware Bay, which comes from a dude named Thomas West, 3rd Baron Delaware. So Delaware, like French, Delaware.
Oh, okay.
So it was just a title that he was given. His dad was the 2nd Baron Delaware. That's not even their family name. It's just their title. So this guy was from England, and he was the largest investor in the Virginia Company of London, which was granted by King James in 1606 to settle colonists in a specific area on the east coast of North America. So they had latitudinal lines. They were like, use your little compass, go here.
Figure it out.
You've got between 36 and 41. They're like, okay. So this guy, Thomas West, he furnished like 2 whole ships for this company to get settlers, white people over to North America.
Okay.
So de facto, he became the governor of the colony of Virginia, which that made him the first colonial era governor. He took over for John Smith.
Okay. Wow.
That's like this era.
Ever heard of him?
And he wound up having this nearby bay named after him, Delaware Bay. He was an enormous asshole, as a lot of rich English people were at this time. He was very violent, and he ordered the wholesale slaughter of Native Americans in this area, which were primarily the Lenape and the Nanticoke. And this was during the First Anglo-Powhatan War.
Okay.
So he was just like, we need to get rid of these people. I don't care if they're actual combatants or, soldiers fighting us or not. We're going to kill all of them and burn their shit.
Mm-hmm.
So he was one of the earliest to just burn it to the ground, commit mass genocide in North America. Well, in what is now the United States. Then he got malaria and fully left the country to go recover in the West Indies. But he got caught in a storm, blown off course. He was gone for months. And then he ends up back in England, where he had to go to the principal's office and explain to the king why he wasn't doing his job.
Oh, shit.
The king was like, so why are you here? Because you're supposed to be the governor of Virginia. So he blamed flux, gout, and cramps. Because men are weak.
I fucked up. I had cramps. It's not my fault.
My cramps were really bad.
My cramps were really bad.
I had to go recover in the West Indies and eat a lot of oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Ouch, my scurvy. In 1616, he and his wife received John Rolfe and his wife Pocahontas and introduced them to English society. So he was in with all this this storybook but actual horrifying fact history.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the guy he put in charge when he left was also a really brutal tyrannical governor. So in 1618, Thomas boards a boat to go see what this guy's doing in his governorship while he's away, and he dies on the way there. Womp womp. Also, insult to injury, the English colonizers just called the Lenape people the Delaware people.
Yeah.
So if you see tribes being referred to as the Delaware, that's the Lenape people. And more salt in the wound, Lenape is often translated as original people. So they're just Delaware. yeah. The names doesn't stem from a happy place, but
not great.
Today, Delaware has some crazy laws on the books. Since the turn of the 20th century, it has become an onshore corporate haven. Did you know this?
No.
Like Amazon and I think Walmart are based technically in Delaware. Over half of all New York Stock Exchange listed corporations and over 3/5 of the Fortune 500 companies are legally incorporated in Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
Over 90% of all U.S.-based companies that went public in 2021 incorporated themselves in Delaware. For a while, Tesla was in Delaware, but I think Elon Musk got busy and moved it to Texas or whatever. So these laws are called the Delaware General Corporation Law, or DGCL.
Mm-hmm.
And if it sounds kind of fishy, I mean, it is. It can be used in very fishy ways. The statute has been credited with reducing the tax burdens on Delaware residents as revenues from the statute provide 2/5 of the state's budget. So the state is making a lot of money because of the sheer number of corporations that are based there. It has also been criticized for facilitating tax dodging and money laundering by multinational corporations, and for providing safe haven to money launderers, kleptocratic foreign rulers, and human traffickers.
Well, we'll get to some human trafficking.
Great. Adopted on March 10th, 1899, that's how long these laws have been on the books. Their General Incorporation Act was modeled after similar laws in New York and New Jersey aimed at attracting more businesses, which they did. But there are an awful lot of loopholes. Mm-hmm. So here's another weird part about this system, which is just called collectively the franchise. Because it's not like one law or a set of laws. It's just how I'm not a fucking corporate attorney, but
right. Yeah,
it's how all these work together.
This. Yeah.
So, in addition, Delaware has used its position as the state of incorporation to generate revenue from its abandoned and unclaimed property laws. Under U.S. Supreme Court precedent, the state of incorporation, so in this case, Delaware, gets to keep any abandoned and unclaimed property, such as uncashed checks and unredeemed gift certificates. Okay. If the corporation does...
They just have 1 million Red Lobster gift certificates.
Yeah. Revenue for the state. Woo!
Here you go. Hand them over.
Hand them over.
Hand them over.
We can do this the easy way or the hard way.
Or the hard way.
If the corporation does not have information about the location of the owner of the property, basically if they don't leave a forwarding address, it is considered abandoned property.
Yep.
And abandoned property alone provides Delaware with about $500 million annually.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And makes sense. I have entered my name even in Minnesota's. You can search in your state if you have unclaimed.
I got $300 a few months ago.
You never know. You never know what you got.
No. Yeah, I had some check from State Farm. I don't think I've ever even done business with State Farm. I don't know why I had a check floating around out there, but better check.
Yeah.
So the franchise in general generates $2 billion every year for Delaware,
That's
covering
wild.
About 29% of the general revenue. And so corporations don't have to pay income tax.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's wild. Okay, so that's a little bit about their weird laws and why if you were very rich. Oh, also, it's super easy to become a corporation in Delaware. You just have to have enough money and file the appropriate paperwork. Whereas in most other places, you have to involve a judge or some sort of approval system, but not in old Del.
Interesting.
I'll give you one guess what the state beverage is.
Fucking milk?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Its current slogan is endless discoveries, but they changed it from It's good being first.
Okay.
I think that was a little bit too sassy for some of them.
Yeah.
It's good being first. And then you have to like explain why you're not the first state. You're just the first state to ratify the Constitution. They're not really the same. I guess kind of. Whatever. Its state fruit is the strawberry.
Cute.
Its state fish is the weak fish. Rude.
Sad. Yeah, rude.
The state insect.
Targeted.
The state insect is the ladybug after school children petitioned the General Assembly in 1974.
Okay, that's adorable. I really like that. They don't even have ladybugs. The kids just wanted them.
They just read so many Eric Carle books. Do you want to guess what the state marine animal is? It would be all over the beaches there.
The hermit crab.
Close. The horseshoe crab.
Horseshoe crab. Okay.
Those things fucking skeeve me out. They're
cool. Don't they have like
looking
science-y blood? Like really important blood for like
it's
medical
like
research?
Blue, it like cures cancer. I think they use it in like chemo or some shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Horseshoe crab blood. The state seashell is the shell of a channeled whelk.
Okay.
The state flower is the peach blossom, also adopted after petitioning by school children.
Love it.
Before the General Assembly.
Love it. They really made the children do a lot of heavy lifting back in the day.
They really did.
Mm-hmm.
So, school children petitioned back in 1895 for the peach blossom. That's wild. Damn. And it's because beginning in the early 1800s, Delaware became a leading producer of peaches until a blight called the Yellows destroyed all of the orchards in the late 1800s.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's awful.
The Yellows got to them.
I'm going to call into work with the Yellows.
Don't call into work. I need you.
I know, that's right. Sorry.
All right, let's get to the flag.
Okay.
The flag of Delaware, there's a photo on the drive for you, consists of a buff-colored rhombus on a field of colonial blue.
Oh, I love a buff rhombus.
A buff rhombus. With the coat of arms of the state of Delaware inside the rhombus. Below the rhombus, the date December 7th, 1787. They're so fucking proud of this. Declares the day on which Delaware became the first state to ratify the Constitution. Mm-hmm. The colors of the flag reflect the colors of the uniform of General George Washington. Ever heard of him? So the coat of arms in the center of the flag was adopted in 1777. It depicts a shield of horizontal orange, blue, and white stripes.
Yep. Unless you count the tiny strip of green grass that kind of looks like a stripe at the bottom.
Well, that's primarily there for the ox.
Mm-hmm.
On the stripes are a sheaf of wheat, an ear of corn, and an ox standing on said green grass strip. All representing.
I feel like a better artist could take a stab at this.
Yeah.
Like the corn and the wheat look like ass. The ox.
It's an ox, yeah.
Just looks like a cow that a child drew.
An ox is a cow, though, right? Or is it a type of cow?
Probably a type of cow.
It's a bovine.
Sure.
Yeah.
It could be better, is all I'm saying.
It could definitely be better.
Most state flags could be better. Delaware is not the first to get this feedback. I know it's great to be first, according to Delaware, but you are not the first in this situation to not have a great flag. Okay.
Well,
I do like the colors, though. It's very Pottery Barn.
It is
very
really
Restoration Hardware.
Yep. So that buff and blue are the state's colors because of Washington.
But it also feels very coastal. So I think that's appropriate.
Yeah.
This looks like a foggy seashore. These two colors together. It
would look nice waving outside of someone's beach house.
Outside of a like wood slat siding beach house.
Shiplapped.
Yeah. That like rom-coms would be filmed at.
Yeah.
Diane Lane.
Weathered gray wood. It's
white
withstood
trim.
many many storms, white trim. Some Adirondacks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very white indeed. Very, very white. Okay. Above the shield is a sailing ship. Supporting the shield are a farmer on the left and a soldier on the right. And the state motto below the shield reads Liberty and Independence.
Mm-hmm.
So
I declare independence.
So we've kind of gone over how we feel about the flag. But there is an official actual ranking.
Oh.
In 2001, a survey conducted by the North American Vexillological Association placed Delaware's flag 52nd in design quality out of the 72 Canadian provincial, U.S. state, and U.S. territorial flags that they ranked.
That's a pretty low ranking.
It's
not.
Also, when I saw that it came in 50 seconds, that made me laugh. It's great to be first.
Oops. Sorry.
First in line for a revamp of your state flag.
God willing.
Okay, I have a case for us.
Okay.
I was not able to sit down and start writing my notes until late in the game for this episode. So instead, I listened to a podcast of Unsolved Mysteries about this particular case. It takes place in Delaware, but that was a large part of my research was listening to this episode of Unsolved Mysteries.
Cool.
And it is still technically unsolved, but we all fucking know what happened and we'll get to it.
Got it. Okay, it's one of those.
It's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be so pissed.
Okay.
On July 23rd, 2019, a construction worker working in the Brandywine River in Wilmington, Delaware, the most populous city in Delaware, came across a body.
Uh-oh.
So he was standing on a bridge over this river and he happened to look down and he saw a body floating down the river and it kind of got stuck in some branches. And he called the authorities and they were saying like, if he had not seen her, if the body hadn't gotten caught in the branches, it was really, really close to going out into Delaware Bay where they never would have found it. So it was floating down. It was almost out to basically the ocean. So the body was identified as that of Susan Ledyard. I think her maiden name was Morrissey. Susan Morrissey Ledyard, a beloved 50-year-old high school teacher. So first, a little bit about Susan from Unsolved Mysteries. This episode did a really good job of like interviewing a bunch of her family members, like two of her sisters, and just painting a picture of who she was. And she's just like enigmatic. One of those people. It's always one of those people. Quote, Susan Ledyard had what many saw as a charmed life growing up in a wealthy enclave of elite families on the East Coast. Private schools, summers at a family beach house, which is in Stone Harbor.
No way.
That's where their beach house is. That was like her happy place.
That's crazy.
A master's degree from Georgetown, followed by a brief teaching adventure in Czechoslovakia before finding her perfect job as a beloved high school English teacher back in her hometown suburb near Wilmington, Delaware. Loved ones describe her as brilliant, witty, and full of life. So a little bit more about her background. For several years, she lived with her sister Meg in San Francisco while teaching English at a high school in Oakland. But at the age of 36, she moved back to the East Coast to be closer to the rest of her family in Wilmington. And that is when she met a man.
No.
Ben Ledyard. He was the son of a prominent local family and a former classmate of Susan's older sister, Missy. So, like, her sister kind of knew him a little bit. They had, like, a tangential connection, but they started dating and they ended up getting married. So, back to the scene. Susan's car, it was like a black Honda Civic, I think, was found about 3 miles away from where her body was found. And at first they thought that she probably floated downriver and that she had, whatever happened, had gotten into the river where her car was because her car was parked near a bridge that also went over that river. At 9:30 a.m., a trooper knocked on Ben and Susan's door at Riverview Avenue. He knocked for 4 minutes and there was no answer. So he left and he called the house and Ben answered the phone. And Ben was like, "Oh, I didn't hear anyone knocking."
Convenient.
Yeah. Then at about 10:50, so like a while later, he drove to Walker's Mill where Susan's car had been found. Sometime in the next half an hour, there was the realization that that was Susan in the river. Wilmington police came to the scene with Delaware State Police, and they informed Ben that it was his wife and she was deceased, and that was her car and that was her body. And he did seem distraught. He said, "Oh, she's the love of my life." You know, somewhat what you would expect of a husband whose wife was just found in the river.
Just found out his wife died. Yeah.
Her whole family finds out what happened. There was like maybe suspicion that it was some kind of suicide. And they're like, absolutely not. That's not Susan. It must have been a terrible accident. So they find her phone in the car and they get access to her call logs, her text message history, location history, all that stuff. So they start to build a timeline. This is Detective Grassi, who is actually still the lead investigator on this case. And I'll give you his information at the end if you know anything. He said she was on her cell phone throughout the night, texting and calling friends. That is not abnormal for her. Her sisters described her as a night owl. She was frequently just up until 1, 2, 3 in the morning, just like texting her friends.
Yep.
Her sister is probably still in California, so that probably made more sense for her. But not abnormal. Those calls and texts stopped around 2:45 a.m. We were able to locate surveillance footage from some area businesses and residences, and I know that at approximately 3:02 a.m., her car pulled out of her own driveway. It's about a 2-minute drive from her house to where her car was parked, and her car went straight there. And we are able to track it through a couple of different cameras along the path. But when they got that footage, it was in the middle of the night. It was dark. They couldn't see anything. They could see that a car drove past. They could safely assume it was Susan's car, but they couldn't see like who was driving, if anyone else was in the car, if she was distraught or whatever. So that didn't really help them. But Ben appeared to be fully cooperating with authorities and told them that she had taken some Ambien that night. So, yeah. So her sister Missy said Ben had gone to a movie with a friend at the Queen Washington in Wilmington. His friend drove, so he dropped Ben off around 10:30 p.m. and then the friend stayed for 10 to 20 minutes. Susan was at the house at this time. The friend left. Susan and Ben are together alone in the house. According to Ben.
At 10:30 at night.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closer to 11 at this point.
Yep.
They shared a half a bottle of wine together, and they had each taken their respective sleep aids and went to bed. So as far as he knew, he was like, well, we both took an Ambien. He said she definitely took an Ambien, and then he, took something, went to bed. And then he came down in the morning and Susan wasn't there. When she was discovered, she was wearing her Fitbit. And the Fitbit.
The Fitbit is going to sing like a canary. What did it capture?
Well, it captured that she was active. Her heart was beating from 3 a.m. until sometime before 7 a.m. I think her body was recovered around 7:40 a.m. So she was alive until she was pretty fresh. She was pretty fresh when they found her.
Yeah.
Like less than an hour in the water.
That's crazy. I mean, that's kind of a miracle.
Her heart was beating for at least 3.5 to 4 hours between the time that the car parked and the time that she was found. So the sister goes on to say, we were operating under the assumption still, all of us, that it was an accident. He, meaning the detective, was talking to us about injuries to her body, but there was no statement, this was a homicide.
Oh, okay.
So for 4 months, the family, everyone is operating under the assumption that this was an accident and that Ambien had something to do with it.
Oh, God.
Because they were also saying like the road where her car was, like where she went, was like this really pretty like twisting road. And sometimes she went out for like a cheeky pack of cigarettes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not unlike her to have been in that area. But also it's 3 a.m. It's a little bit weird. And she was fucking found floating in the river. So something happened.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 months. An autopsy conducted by the Division of Forensic Science ruled Susan's cause of death to be blunt force trauma to the head and drowning.
Wow.
So on November 14th, nearly 4 months after her body was found, authorities ruled her death a homicide, and there was no Ambien in her system.
I was going to ask about, like, bro is out here saying, oh, she took Ambien and drank half a bottle of wine. Like, we're not going to have a toxicology. So there's no Ambien. Do you know her blood alcohol level?
That was not mentioned anywhere.
So negligible, if anything.
Blood alcohol level after a person is deceased is very complicated because your blood, the chemicals in your body start to turn into alcohol in a way. Like, however they test it, it's hard to get an accurate reading. That's why they have to get the juice from inside your eyeball. That's the most accurate BAC at time of death. Isn't that fucking wild?
Crazy.
Anyway, so the cops are like, well, Ben is cooperating. I almost forgot the word because whatever. Ben is cooperating. He's been cleared by the detectives. We have no reason to believe that he had anything to do with it, but it was a homicide and it's still unsolved.
Interesting.
So I have a little update for us.
Okay.
In January of 2023. First of all, Ben moved out of the house and was engaged to a different woman a year later, within a year.
No.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking telling.
Yep. So that was in, let's see, I don't like that. That would have been in 2020 where he got engaged to somebody else. In January of 2023, Benjamin Ledyard was arrested on charges of second-degree assault, terroristic threatening, and menacing in an attack on his new wife, Stephanie Ledyard. This is so fucking gross. Court records show that Benjamin was also charged on New Year's Day of 2023 with a previous attack on Stephanie over the summer in which he allegedly bit off the tip of her pinky finger.
What?
Yeah. The charge is a first-degree assault in which in which he intentionally disfigured her. So that is a first-degree assault. Stephanie had earlier told authorities at the Wilmington Hospital emergency room that she injured her finger in a door frame. And but also Benjamin was in the room at the time when she did this. So she placed him at the scene.
Yeah.
They took her word for it at the time. You know, you could, fuck up your finger in a door frame. But she later told police this week after his arrest that when Benjamin had bit off her, first of all, that he bit off her finger and then told her, quote, "I think I swallowed it."
Oh my fucking God.
Yeah. He also swung like a pool cue at her in their home and was coming at her with tried to hit her with a marble statue figurine thing made out of marble.
Interesting. And blunt force trauma. He tried to blunt force trauma her.
He also
Meanwhile, his previous wife died of blunt force trauma, was dropped in a river, and had a bunch of other injuries.
She also said he pushed her on the ground and repeatedly banged her head into the floor.
Holy shit.
He's a fucking psycho, allegedly.
Yeah, and I'm sure the fact that this not is behind bars.
Delaware State Police have maintained that this assault charge is separate from the investigation into Susan's death, which remains open and active.
Uh-huh.
The Morrissey family says, quote, "We miss Susan every day. We need everyone to help us spread the word about her case to generate tips."
Fucking
And then her sister Meg said, "Someone is waking up every day and going to sleep every night." Oh, I have goosebumps. Knowing they have taken her life and shattered her family.
Yeah.
So they are offering a $50,000 reward for anyone who
information that leads to an arrest. Yeah.
So if you know anything, you can contact Detective Grassi directly by calling 302-365-8441. The state is also welcoming tips through Delaware Crime Stoppers at 1-800-TIP, TIP 3333.
Wow.
So
wow.
Poor fucking Susan. I was listening to the rest of that episode on my way back from dropping June off at daycare, and I was just like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Hard not to just scream into the void in anger about shit like that. It's like...
The update wasn't even in the episode. I found that separately.
No.
The fingertip fucking thing.
That's crazy. And I mean, this is just another, like, really fucked up and sad reason why... it's so important to report assault to establish patterns, not necessarily, this is what makes it so fucked up. It's not even for your own fucking safety. It's for the safety of the future victims when that individual escalates. And that's part of the reason why, so many people don't report, because there isn't immediate action and safety. And the best you can hope for is that you've added to a paper trail if and when somebody fucking dies at the hands of an abuser. And like, how dark and pathetic is that? Ugh, shit just pisses me off.
It's awful. But yeah, R.I.P. Susan, that should never have happened to you. No. Whatever happened should not have happened to you. Same, Stephanie, you deserve a full finger and not to be terrorized and abused in your own home.
Yep. I hope she's doing okay now, but that's really scary, especially like, I don't know, knowing what happened to his previous partner, and then she's being abused, and she's like, fuck.
I know.
This was not the right call.
No.
I gotta get out of here.
No.
Fucking A. God damn it, men.
Yeah, fucking men.
Well done. I'm glad you listened to that podcast, because that was wild.
Yeah.
And I really hope that justice is served, that we do figure out exactly what happened to Susan.
Yeah. And I hope that man goes to prison for something.
Yep.
For one of the things that he very apparently did.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Good God. All right.
Okay.
Let's take a quick break
to take our meds.
Yeah. Take our meds. And if you don't want to listen to ads, you can come join us on Uncorked and get these episodes and tons of bonus content ad-free.
We'd love to have you.
Come join us.
When you hear the word electrolyte, if you're like me, you automatically go to like athletes and football games and, post-workout stuff. But really, electrolytes are for every human body, and they're very, very helpful for your everyday function. And that is why Drip Drop has become my go-to reset button for busy days, brain fog, travel. I love them for travel. Whatever it is, Drip Drop is easy. It tastes great. It helps me feel more hydrated no matter what my day ends up looking like.
Yeah, we need electrolytes to function.
Turns
out, who knew? And Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Think support for busy days, long workouts, summer travel, everything in between, because hydration is not just something you do when you're behind. It's literally how you stay ahead. Drip Drop uses science-based formulas for rapid hydration so you feel results fast while getting 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Drip Drop is trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams, which I always say, we are none of those things. But if it works for them, it'll work for you, because it's built to hydrate you faster and more effectively than water alone. It's perfect for staying active all summer long. And my personal favorite, Drip Drop Zero Sugar Plus. This is a breakthrough fast-absorbing formula with an advanced blend of 6 key electrolytes, 15 essential vitamins and nutrients, and no sugar or artificial sweeteners. It's fast hydration, built with what matters most, and the flavors are so good. There are 16 original flavors and 8 zero sugar plus options that fit seamlessly into the routine. You can have this in the morning as part of your breakfast. You can have it as a little pre or post workout, little midday slump treat. My personal go-to is like a tall glass of ice water with the zero sugar plus peach.
Yum.
Baby. Okay, you want to know a little secret? I have done that where I mixed it with a little bit of iced tea and it tasted like a peach iced tea.
Woo!
Yeah, so you can get fun and creative with your drip drop. Okay? To make it easy, Drip Drop has flexible subscription options, so you're never stuck without proven fast hydration, whether you're hitting the gym, juggling work, or just trying to have enough electrolytes to be alive.
That's helpful. Right now, Drip Drop is offering podcast listeners 20% off your first order. Go to dripdrop.com and use promo code GALS. That's dripdrop.com, promo code GALS for 20% off. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code GALS.
Support for today's episode comes from Square, our besties. We just got back from tour. We used Square every day. And they've got big ol' news. During Square's biannual releases event, they launched a wave of innovative new tools to help local businesses run faster, smarter, and more profitably. Who doesn't love to hear that? From AI that answers your toughest business questions to tech that simplifies food orders and tracks every dollar, it's all live and it's built for businesses like yours. Whether you're starting fresh or scaling fast, Square helps you keep up and get ahead. And right now, listeners can get up to $200 off Square hardware when you sign up at square.com/go/wineandcrime. That's SQUARE.com/go/wineandcrime. Visit Square to get started because the right tools make all the difference.
I love using Square for our merch sales. It is so easy to see, to like find reports. This Square AI feature is your new automated business partner. It brings all of your business data to your fingertips, like right on your dashboard. You can just ask a question like, what were my top sellers last month? Which day of the week is slowest? It gives you this personalized insight that is invaluable, especially to small business owners like us. You can gain control of costs and your bottom line. It's always good to have all of that sort of in clear picture. Plus, you get to keep all the features that you already love. You can take every payment type from tap to pay to Apple Pay to invoices, manage your staff, your payroll, your schedule, sell online or in person like we do at our live shows. Just tap the little Square reader. It's so easy. Square launched its most powerful tools yet, designed to give local businesses a competitive edge without the complexity. If you're ready to sell smarter, run faster, and stress less, right now you can get up to $200 off Square hardware at square.com/go/wineandcrime. That's SQUARE.com/go/wineandcrime. Run your business smarter with Square. Get started today.
This is a dark case alert, okay?
Great.
Today I'm covering one of the darkest chapters in American history, which we've kind of touched on already today. Delaware.
Yep.
There are roots, or at least strong ties to this movement, quote unquote, in Delaware. And that is the reverse Underground Railroad. Because, of course,
Oh my God.
if there's going to be an Underground Railroad, some angry white people are going to try to fucking combat it.
It's reverse racism. We're the victims.
We're the victims for losing our property. So this was a clandestine network of human traffickers who abducted free black people, mostly children,
Oh my God.
from the North and sold them into Southern slavery. At the heart of this evil enterprise was the notorious Cannon Johnson gang, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Yuck.
The Cannon Johnson gang was not just a group of criminals. It was a multi-generational family enterprise. So Patty Cannon is at the top. She was possibly born as Lucretia Patricia Hanley, but we only ever know her as Patty Cannon.
Okay.
And then
It rolls off the tongue a bit easier.
Yeah. Then her daughter is married to a guy named Joe Johnson. So it was a mother and son-in-law founding duo
Got it.
for the Cannon Johnson gang. The gang also involved Patty's husband, a man named Jesse Cannon, and other relatives in the household. They lived in the early 19th century after the 1808 ban on importing enslaved Africans. So we hadn't abolished slavery. Yep, we had simply stopped importing enslaved people.
Allegedly. That shit was still going on.
Well, of course it was. But it was going on at a lesser degree because of these laws. So this caused a domestic demand and inflation in price for specifically American-born enslaved Africans.
Oh, that makes me feel fucking ill.
Yup. So this reverse Underground Railroad, like Cannon Johnson gang, they made their money by kidnapping free black people and children and then taking them back south off into like Mississippi and Alabama and selling them back into slavery at extraordinarily inflated prices because people weren't able to just mail order enslaved people anymore.
Or go down to the village square and go to an auction.
Well, right. I mean, at least
auction.
At least if that practice was continuing under the new law, it should have been only American born, which meant mostly like children and youths to be.
Well, they could also get more money out of kids because they have more life left.
Correct.
And they're probably easier to abduct.
Yeah. And like, this is only one thing that law created. I mean, we already had issues of like breeding, which makes me sick to think about because it could be less expensive than acquiring an enslaved person from overseas. Then you could sell those children. So this is like created this, what was meant to, and I'm not saying it's bad that they made this ban, but we should have just fucking abolished slavery from it never should have, it never should have existed.
It was like a pathetic little half measure.
It was a pathetic little half measure that actually created like black markets and more terror stateside as they tried to cling to this dying quote unquote market of human trafficking.
Oh God.
I know, it just gives you fucking chills. It's sick. The gang's headquarters was located in Reliance, a border town that known then as Johnson's Crossroads, sitting exactly where Maryland and Delaware converge. And I do have a map on the drive that you can look at. There are 2 points on that map. We're going to get to one, but you can see one is marked Patty Cannon House. And you can see it's like literally right on the borderline.
Yeah.
That dotted line is the Delaware-Maryland border.
Oh, it is right on there.
Yep.
Okay.
So this location was specifically strategic because local police forces were weak at best. It was mostly like little volunteer. I mean, this is the 1800s. But like if they approached, Patty would take her enterprise. She would just go over state lines and be like, well, you don't have jurisdiction here. And then another volunteer group would have to come from like, what are they going to do? They didn't have a phone to just call the Maryland Police Department and be like, come meet us here.
Yeah.
So like the policing of these fuckers was weak to begin with for obvious reasons. Like think of where the police force even came from. Former slave catchers, but like, so it was weak at best. And then when they did stroll up to the property, she would just go to Maryland and be like, nana, nana, boo, boo. And then they would fucking leave.
Yeah.
So while their base was on the Delmarva Peninsula of Delaware, their hunting grounds extended far north into Philadelphia, which had the largest population of free black people in the North at that time and lacked a professional police force. So it was like a big city without police that a lot of...
Pick them off.
Yup. A lot of freed enslaved Africans had relocated to. They also operated throughout New Jersey, the Chesapeake Bay, and as far south as Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi, where they delivered their human cargo. The gang's primary crime was kidnapping, often children who were easier to control and could fetch a high price. They employed
easier to control.
Yup.
Oh.
They employed a chillingly effective method, and that is the use of mixed race or black decoys. So we'll kind of get to how Patty convinced I mean, she didn't really need to convince people to be part of this operation because she herself was a slave owner. And so she owned, quote unquote, black and mixed race people.
Okay. So she didn't have to sneak around with
not really
black people.
No.
Wow.
At a time when Southern slaveholders came to Philadelphia, often with their enslaved property, as well as free Black Americans living in that area, it was difficult to determine what was happening between adults and children. So seeing white adults with Black children was normal because slave owners came to the city with their quote unquote property. So this wasn't uncommon to see, but there were also free Black people, formerly enslaved people that were living there. So seeing Black adults with Black children free on the street was also normal. Mm-hmm. So people weren't really paying attention to like weird goings on.
Yeah.
You know, didn't, and none of it seemed suspicious. Like just the mere fact that either white adults were interacting with Black children or Black adults interacting with Black children just in the city, street side wasn't raising any red flags.
Yeah, like observing that kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But very murky. And like you were saying, I was listening to another podcast about Ben Franklin. Mm-hmm. But like, yeah, Philadelphia was a really fucking crazy city around this time with tons of people. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I can totally see this. And she lived
really
in
close.
Delaware, or she lived in...
She lived in Delaware, right on the Delaware-Maryland border.
Was it illegal to own slaves in Pennsylvania, so like Philadelphia at this time? If you lived there?
I believe so, because it was that city, at least, was the largest population at the time of recently freed enslaved Africans. So I don't think there was.
Yeah.
But I didn't check that. Let me look.
But it's so creepy because it's so fucking close to where you have this huge metropolis city of, you know, newly freed people and all of this innovation and like action and movement. And then just over the border, there's people owning slaves still.
Yep. So Pennsylvania did allow slavery in the early creation of America, but was the first state to pass legislation to abolish. It says the legislative act for the gradual abolition of slavery. So like the soft launch in their state.
Yeah, let's not get too dramatic. Can't do this overnight.
But that was on March 1st, 1780. So possibly by this time, that process had completed, would be my guess. And that's why there were freed now Black Americans living there, because the slavery had been abolished. So that's the city that they went to.
That was a safe place for them, supposedly.
Mm-hmm. That's supposed to be. Yeah. So that answers the question. I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. But so operatives would approach Black children, mostly under the pretense, and just young, like teenagers, people in their 20s, just be like, hey, I've got work.
Youth. Yeah.
Yeah, youth. I've got work for you. You know, do you need a job? Come, I live right here. Come check it out. And it just feels so insanely diabolical that like Patty, and it's also completely unsurprising that Patty would weaponize the Black people that she had under her quote unquote employ, that she essentially owned and controlled, to then force them to conduct these acts of violence, this kidnapping of people in their own communities, knowing that a Black child or a Black youth on the street is going to be more trusting of another Black person than a white person approaching them, offering them work. She knew that.
That's so
she did that intentionally.
Yeah. Of course she did.
And it worked well.
Oof.
One victim, 17-year-old Isaiah Sadler, was lured with a job offer only to be handed over to Patty Cannon's men, clamped in irons, and prepared for transport south.
Oh my God, that would be so fucking terrifying.
Horrified. They're just kidnapping you. They're just putting you back It's just a repeat of the
and
same.
you know what's down there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And these kids have probably experienced this before, or at least their parents did.
Mm-hmm.
Victims were often kept in secret rooms, basements, and attics in Cannon's house or Joe Johnson's tavern, which is her son-in-law's quote-unquote bar, but like she partly owned it. So like she's a business owner. She's got this tavern, but like the tavern and her house had spots for her shady business to be conducted.
It was like an operating bar with people just going and spending their money, and there's children being hidden in little hidey holes around.
Yep.
Ugh.
At times, yeah. They were held, like I said, in leg irons, and they were also severely whipped if they insisted they were free. Once enough people were gathered, they were shipped via schooner down the Nanticoke River or taken by covered wagon to slave markets in the Deep South. So those markets were definitely still happening. They were just like supposed to be only, they called them like, quote, native born or native grown, which is so fucked up. But that just meant like born in the United States because we can't import people anymore.
Yeah. Or had already been imported before the law passed.
Yeah. So it's like we can't import new people, but we can continue to own and exploit the people we already imported. And then we can breed them so that they have more people that we can sell and exploit. And if you're living outside of a territory where that is a common practice, you could become a fucking trafficker.
Yeah.
And make a shit ton of money grabbing them from the north and bringing them to the south. And this went on for years.
Yeah. Money is a fucking insane motivator.
It's
I
nuts.
keep having flashes. I mean, it's so fucking gross. I keep thinking of like the exotic pet trade. Honestly, any black market, it's what it is, but it's just so fucking with children. Ugh.
Yeah. And like, on paper, we don't have slavery anymore, but
what is this? Is this,
the fucking,
is this any kind of alleviation?
Yeah. The trafficking persists.
Yeah.
An added shroud for their violence was the War of 1812, which I mentioned earlier. This was a fight between the new America and the Brits still trying to oversee shit over here. Thousands of enslaved Africans apparently joined British forces with the promise of being brought over to the UK for freedom in exchange for their service. There were training camps along the peninsula operated by the Brits, training the black enlisted soldiers to fight against the Americans. This fueled further hatred and racism from white Americans who wanted to break from Britain and made white folks in the area, like, of the Cannon Johnson gang, pretty indifferent, if not fully sympathetic to the gang's activities. Because it's like, well, these black people are traitorous anyway. They fought for Britain against us. It's like, no, they fought for anyone who would promise them their fucking freedom because we keep enslaving them.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, they're bad.
By another name.
Mm-hmm. So basically, public sentiment was like, whatever. And it was already like that.
Get him out of here.
Because we were hot off the presses of, like, you don't abolish slavery and then racism ends. Hi, it's 2026. It still hasn't ended. But like, you know, it's just, there was so much going on that allowed this gang to operate. And we will never know just how many people they trafficked and killed. It's certainly in the hundreds, possibly in the thousands.
Oh God. And all of those families,
mm-hmm.
their kid or whoever just got snatched, just didn't come home.
They're just gone.
And was sold into slavery in the
And
South.
where are these black families going to go to get their loved ones back? Who are they going to call?
What recourse?
There's no police department. And even if there were, you know,
how helpful,
so the gang's activities,
how helpful are they now, let alone?
Right.
Yeah.
The gang's activities continued for many years. Local law enforcement officials were reluctant to halt the illegal operations that they very well knew were going on and may have been afraid of the gang's reputation for violence. So on top of the indifference of police departments toward the welfare of black individuals in general, they were like, well, they're really dangerous. We're scared. We're not going to go over there. Yeah. Patty's scary.
She's scary.
But that strategic location in Delaware always worked to their advantage because anytime they would approach her When she would learn the police were coming toward her property, she would slip across state lines away from local police forces where they couldn't do shit to her. But every empire eventually falls, thank God. The gang's reign began to crumble in the mid-1820s due to the persistent efforts of Philadelphia's mayor, Joseph Watson, who worked to rescue kidnapped victims and gather evidence against the gang. In 1826, Watson offered a $500 reward, which in today's money would be like 15 grand, for information leading to the arrest of members of this gang. And then Pennsylvania Governor John Andrew Schulz also issued orders of extradition to the states of Virginia, Alabama, and Mississippi for like basically trying to get these people back.
Mm-hmm.
This united effort led them to find many free Black children who had been kidnapped and sold in Mississippi, like in just the year before.
Oh.
Because a slaveholder contacted Watson about someone trying to sell kidnapped people as slaves, and some of them were rescued. At least one that the gang had brought to sell had died being beaten to death on the trip down. In 1827, one child who had been kidnapped by the gang in August of 1825, his name was Cornelius Sinclair, had been freed from sale back into slavery in Alabama. After his rescue, he bravely became a prominent witness to testify against Henry Carr and John Purnell, who were two members of the gang who were prosecuted for kidnapping.
Do you know how old he was?
The child?
Cornelius,
I don't know. It's like these records are so minimal. Even Patty, we don't know exactly how old she was, like when she died.
Yeah.
So I don't know exactly how old. So most of these people were like at least youth. He's probably at least under 18.
Either way, incredibly brave. To stand up. Ugh. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is the American justice system, however, so unsurprisingly, Henry Carr, was acquitted in the court. He left for Alabama and he died there in 1828. Purnell was also tried in the Philadelphia County Court, where he was convicted in Philadelphia on 2 counts of kidnapping and sentenced to a $4,000 fine, which would be about $117,000 today, and 42 years in prison. But he died 5 years later while incarcerated in Walnut Street Prison in Philly.
Too good a death.
I know. One of them went to prison and died there. The other didn't go to prison, but died in Alabama like the next year. Like their life expectancy was not long, thank God. Then in 1829, the bodies of 4 Black people, including 3 children, were discovered buried on farm property that Patty Cannon owned in Delaware when a tenant farmer uncovered their remains during plowing. After this discovery, Patty Cannon was indicted on 4 counts of murder by a grand jury of 24 white males. So it's actually like kind of shocking that they indicted her. But I mean, the evidence was so clear that I don't think they really had much of a choice. Yeah. Witness Cyrus James stated that he saw Cannon take an injured Black child, quote, not yet dead, out in her apron, but that it never returned.
Oh my God.
Sorry, Beans is coming in the door, so the door is just opening, and I'm like, is there a ghost? Nope, just a cat. Hi, Beans. So this young man, Cyrus, was a mixed race man. He'd been purchased as a slave by Patty Cannon when he was 7 and had grown up in her household and participated in her crimes, sometimes serving as a decoy to make free Black people feel safe and working with him on a task to like lure them into her trafficking ring. She had several operatives that she owned and deployed this way. While awaiting trial in a Sussex County jail, Patty Cannon confessed to nearly 24 murders.
Oh my God.
On May 11th, 1829, she died in her cell after she had been sentenced to death by hanging. Her age at that time was estimated to be between 60 and 70 years old. And while some claim that she died of natural causes, many believe she died by suicide using poison because she didn't want to be hanged. Her body was initially buried in the graveyard of the Georgetown, Delaware jail. Before the land was developed as a parking lot in the 20th century, Her remains, along with those of 2 other women, were exhumed and reburied in a potter's field near the new jail that they built. Her skull was allegedly separated from the rest of her bones that were like in the potter's grave when the parking lot was being excavated and built. And the skull was later put on display in various venues, first one being on loan to the Dover Public Library in 1961. And then it was loaned to the Smithsonian in 2010 to allow scientists to learn more about settler colonial life in the Chesapeake.
Whoa.
But there are some people who don't believe that that's necessarily her skull, especially because she was buried in like a pauper's field, like outside of a prison.
It could have been anyone.
So it could have been anybody's, but the skull that was on display was always referenced to be that of Patty Cannon. But some people are like, I don't know about that.
I mean, I hope her body is being desecrated over and over and over and over and over again.
Well, I don't mind that either, but unfortunately, there is another weird thing connected to this. So the legacy of the Cannon-Johnson gang remains a stark reminder of the brutality of the era, marked today by a historical marker in Seaford, Delaware, dedicated to the victims, but also, quote-unquote, marked in a more controversial way by some white guy who founded a housing development in Delaware. There's a housing development in Seaford, Delaware, like where this historical marker is, where Patty's house was, the area where this was happening. Yeah. And they named the community Patty Cannon Estates.
Are you fucking kidding me?
And it's still named that. And that's the Patty Cannon Estates that's on the map.
Ew. Well, I did say it does roll off the tongue, but Jesus Christ, open a book.
I know.
That's not like an accident.
No. But basically after this like story became more widely known and people started speaking out about it, the guy who founded this or created this housing development or whatever in the 70s, who is definitely fucking racist, but was asked about it and he was just like, she was like the Al Capone of our area and people honor him, and you know, it's not an honor. It's just we can't erase our history. It's the same as taking down like monuments to the Confederacy. We know it was bad, but we gotta we gotta honor that it's part of American history. And I'm just gonna make him sound like Mitch McConnell because fuck you.
The dead Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, the very much probably not alive Mitch McConnell. Well,
also, Al Capone was moving alcohol and not children.
Bro, I know. And also, none of them are good.
No,
we shouldn't be doing this. Yeah. So community members have spoken out against the naming and implored them to consider changing the name, but without success. Residents of the area, after learning Patty Cannon's history, took to Facebook to express their concern over the naming. I do believe this couple is a black couple, who were quoted as saying, the Davises, for 2, are not at all impressed with the idea of naming a community for a former slave kidnapper and killer. What if the neighborhood was named after Timothy McVeigh, Imelda Davis wonders, the domestic terrorist executed for the 1995 Oklahoma City bombing? Would people have an issue with that? I think it's a real big slap in the face, not only just for black folks, but for people, period, Chris Davis said. It's disrespectful. It's hurtful. He said he feels embarrassed even telling people where he lives now. Oof. Both Chris and Imelda emphasized that they liked the neighborhood, and they said they are not looking to become activists on the issue or making it a big campaign. Quote, I really like the quietness of the neighborhood, Imelda Davis said. There's nothing wrong with this neighborhood, but it's I think they just wish it was fucking named something else, which is completely fair. These are 2 people who just want to be left alone in their quiet community, but not be reminded constantly that they live in a housing development named after a fucking monster, like a human trafficker of black children. And can you blame them?
No.
So after Chris found out the story behind the name, he decided to put it out on social media to start raising awareness. Quote, ignorance is not bliss, he said. Chris Davis's post did get some interest, but didn't really cause a controversy or firestorm. A number of the commenters seemed to agree that naming a neighborhood after Cannon was strange or distasteful, although there was some pushback taking a, quote, don't erase history stance. Davis said he was pleasantly surprised.
Oh
I know.
God, these people,
you're
not
erasing history by just not naming a housing development after the worst parts of our history.
Yeah.
There are other parts of our history that we can honor.
Unfortunately, this woman did live and did do the shit that she was accused of.
Yep, and
we can't change it. We certainly don't need to celebrate it after the fact.
There's a historical marker that, you know, it's like we're not erasing history. We're certifying that this happened, but you don't need to name a neighborhood development after it. Like, what the fuck are we doing?
No. What an honor it would be to have a neighborhood named after you. This bitch did not deserve that.
Did not. They should change
literally
it to
anyone else. Miss Rachel Estates.
Yeah, Miss Rachel Estates sounds great. I'm into that. Anyway, that is my case for Delaware Crimes. Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Ew, I had never heard of that. That is so foul.
I know. You know, for these state cases, I like to look in the way back machine, and I was like, oh, fuck.
Delaware has some bizarrely dark roots.
Yeah, I mean, it really does make sense, though, because it's in just like the bosom birthplace of America, which was created out of atrocities. So
it's also like between like Appalachia and like the coast. It is snuggled in a very culturally bizarre
and
intersection
area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got to do a Delaware show. This place is weird.
I really want to go to Delaware now.
I've only ever driven through it. I've never actually like spent any time in Delaware, so we might have to check it out.
We got to spend at least 20 minutes ramming through Delaware.
We at least need to have one drive across Delaware.
Mm-hmm.
One afternoon leisurely drive.
Next gals go to Delaware.
Oh, no.
Gals go to that lacy rag, or however you described it.
That lacy sack.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like a ball sack. A lacy, shredded ball sack.
I still don't know Delaware. What shape are you?
You're gonna be surprised at how well I described it. So I'm excited for you to see it.
It is, yeah. Well, yeah, the sack, because it's bigger on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like a skin tag. Like America's. I don't know why I'm being
skin
so
tag
mean
on
to
the
Delaware.
armpit of America.
I'm so sorry to America's skin tag. I didn't mean to. I don't know why I suddenly have this like vendetta against Delaware.
We were just saying how we want to go. Beautiful beaches.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I have Minnesota giant state superiority, and I own it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
Okay. There's a lot to be proud of.
I apologize to our 7 Delaware listeners. I'm so sorry, you guys. Including Becky T.
Most of all, Becky T.
First and foremost, Becky T. I'm sorry I shit down your Baltimore, your Delaware throat.
Sorry we shit down your lacy sack.
But, you know.
That's okay. That's what happens. You get for not pairing with Twisted Tea, I guess.
Yeah, that's what you get, Becky T.
That's what you get.
Dogfish Head is amazing.
It is really good beer. It's one of the only beers that I like. That they have certain kinds that I like.
Yes, queen.
All right.
Get your certain kinds.
Get your certain kinds. You deserve certain kinds.
You deserve them.
All right. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully we'll see you over on Uncorked. And either way, we'll be back with a fresh ep next week. So we'll see you then.
Yes, we will. Bye-bye.
Like what you see?
Check out more episodes and become a member to unlock exclusive content.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.